Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Conversations with leading experts in business, and today I have the most incredible guest, Raymond Taylor. Lewis is an international entrepreneur, and our topic today is Coach Your Way to Freedom, which I can't wait for. Lewis, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me, Mark.
I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you today. Before I get started, I just have to make a legal disclaimer that Lewis is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Lewis, can you share with our listeners a little about yourself and about your business?
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's always very difficult to do this in a summary because I'm 29 years old, but I've lived quite a fruitful life with all sorts of twists and turns. And it's very hard to sort of summarize that into a couple of minutes, but I'm going to do my best. So from a young age, I was getting into trouble a lot with the police. I had an antisocial behaviour order when I was 14. I was expelled from school at 15. I was in a young offenders institution at 18. And yeah, my life spiraled out of control, mainly on reflection due to the relationship I had with my father. He was an alcoholic. He put me down a lot. He'd call me a buffoon. He'd tell me I was never going to amount to anything. And, you know, I believed him. And I was looking for attention and I was seeking attention. And I went out and I just committed these sort of very attention-seeking type crimes. I mean, like lighting fires, shoplifting, things like that. And it just took me down the wrong path. I've been in prison multiple times. I have been to rehab for drugs and alcohol. I had a suicide attempt once. I was having epileptic fits due to my drinking and drug use. Things couldn't have really got much worse than what they did. And I was, you know, to cut a long story short, I was in prison for the third time, serving an 18-month sentence. And I had a very, very cliche awakening moment where I was in that prison cell and I just realized that I couldn't keep doing it to myself and I couldn't keep blaming everything and everyone around me for why my life was difficult. And I took responsibility for myself and I started to make changes, but very intensively and immersively, to the point where, you know, I really wanted to work on myself. I was reading, I was getting into a routine, I was going into the education department, and I just started to notice some changes within myself. So when I left prison, I admitted myself into a 6 months fully intensive rehabilitation treatment centre for my drugs and alcohol problem. And my life has since then just completely transformed. I engaged with 12-step recovery meetings and psychologists and psychiatrists and counselling and coaching. I moved away from my friends and family. I got clean and sober. I was also diagnosed with 3 different mental health problems over my journey. One being bipolar type 2, one being an antisocial personality disorder, and one being an emotionally unstable personality disorder. And going back to the mental health place after treatment, I was told that there was no symptoms of mental illness whatsoever. So whether I cured them, a miracle happened, or I have ever had them in the first place, I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know is they don't affect me or my life anymore. So from that moment, I had like this overwhelming sense of duty, as cliche as that sounds, to go out there and share this with other people, because I genuinely didn't think change was possible. I thought you could change your behavior, you could maybe do different things, but you could never change the person that you were. And I really experienced what it's like to transform yourself. I'm a different person. I like different things. I talk in a different way. I dress in a different way. I want different things from life. I communicate differently. It's just everything about me is different from that real intensive and immersive experience that I went through. So I started to help others, which led to me realizing that I was a bit of a coach. So I went back and did these qualifications online and started to build a business out of it. Again, to cut a long story short, within 8 months, I was completely location independent, making a nice income, traveling the world, helping people via video sessions, which then made me realize about the opportunity that's available now for us to be able to truly help people with our experiences using the power of the internet, being able to create this location independence and create freedom in every sense of the world through coaching. You know, coaching had not just changed my life, but changed other people's life. You know, freedom to be able to think whatever I wanted without hindrance or restraint, freedom to be able to earn the money that I wanted, freedom to be able to travel where I wanted, freedom to be able to become the person that I wanted to be and do the things I wanted to do. So I started to help other coaches and also became a senior accredited coaching trainer and partnered up with my business partner, Liam James Collins, who's now part of the company that we have called the Coaching Masters. And we have different yet similar backgrounds. Liam was a postman, but is also in the mix of all this. My dad passed away and Liam's dad committed suicide. And we just really connected over these sort of difficult life events and wanted to help people and change the world. So we formed this company and started to accredit coaches. We also put in other products such as business launch programs. So you can work completely online, all the sort of tangible assets that you need to create and all the social media strategy and things to be able to build an online business. And all sorts of other services for coaches, such as an NLP course, outsourced virtual assistants, group coaching, accountability, training, a membership area full of content. And we now have this end-to-end solution that provides coaches, or not even coaches, people, the opportunity to become coaches and help people and make a difference and travel and work completely online. And yeah, we've got an international community now, hundreds of people from all over the world. We do events, different parts of the year. The business is about to hit 7 figures, and we've only been operating for a year. Of course, we've been both working simultaneously on our own businesses before coming together, but the actual Coaching Masters itself has only been going for a year. And now we literally help people from all over the world become qualified and accredited coaches and build a business and go out there and create this ripple effect. You know, they will help themselves through this transformation that they go on. And then they learn the skills to be able to help other people. And then the world becomes a better place because of it. And then as a result, they have coached their way to freedom. And our sort of ethos is we want to give ordinary people extraordinary tools to create freedom for themselves and others. Because this freedom was sort of gifted to me, you know, going through that journey, having the support. I was then able to give that to other people. And you know, we're really passionate about helping other people learn these skills and push it out there as far and as wide as humanly possible. And that's exactly what we're doing. That's it in a nutshell.
Wow, what an incredible story. And listening to the past of where you were, it makes so much sense that you're so successful now, Lewis, because I find people who come from tragedy, I come from tragedy too, always have that extra drive, and it really makes us stronger in the present moment. You touched on so many great points there. And just looking at your social media, some people may just think, oh, look at him, he's got everything, not knowing that backstory of what you have been through to get there. So that's really humbling to hear, and it's really humbling to hear how you're coming from a place of service to help others to transform as well. So Lewis, who are your customers and who do you serve?
Absolutely. So we are doing things a little bit differently because we're creating a new age breed of coach. We talk about making them younger, sharper, more powerful, more impactful. Typically, the coaching industry has a bit of a stigma to it, where it's, they have this impression of a middle-aged woman, sitting in an office and doing therapy sessions, where now, due to the rise of social media and personal development booming, people are looking for solutions, and celebrities and things are getting their own coaches. And we want to bring a new lease of life to it. So we are taking just ordinary people, but from all different backgrounds, not just the typical demographic that usually falls into coaching over the last couple of decades, but this new era of people that are looking to create fulfillment in their life and freedom in their life, and be able to help other people and earn an income from being able to do it. So typically the demographics that we tend to serve are much young, most other people doing similar things to us, where we've got people as young as 18 and 19 getting into coaching. But I'd say our average demographic is people probably in their sort of mid-range 20s, maybe about 25 years old, which is typically a lot younger. So yeah, it's other than actual coaches that come in to grow their coaching business, we're just servicing a mass market. One of the other things we're trying to do is create this identity of coaching being as fashionable as having a personal trainer. And typically a lot of people within the industry are servicing the same demographic of people that are looking to become coaches, when actually we want to make a bigger impact. We want to take these average regular people that are maybe looking for an opportunity and looking for fulfillment, and capitalizing on their skills and experiences and abilities, complementing that with the tools and techniques and the frameworks and the qualifications we do. We can just turn these ordinary younger people who are looking for more from their life and create this new age breed of coach. So typically we're looking at anyone across the world, and we have literally people in all corners of the globe doing our courses, but typically a lot younger than most of the industry at the moment.
That is great, Lewis. And you touched on a great point, actually, which brought a thought into my mind about celebrities having coaches. Oprah Winfrey was recently at a Tony Robbins event, and she did a firework. So Oprah Winfrey, who you think has got everything, is going to these kind of coaching events where you can transform. So I just had to bring that up, Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis, do you recall a specific aha moment that led to the launch of your business?
It was the moment where I realized what I'd learned and what my experience had gifted me, because when I was in rehab and in therapy, I did 6 months intensive rehabilitation. It was really, really a tough time in my life. I had to challenge everything that I'd ever thought and believed. I had to break myself down and be rebuilt. And at the time, I saw it as a really unpleasant experience. Not everybody has that kind of experience with personal development, but I was going through some quite serious therapy for a lot of trauma, a lot of bereavement, and a lot of things that had gone on. And I didn't quite see the value in what I was learning at the time. I just sort of saw it as a necessity and something that had to be done in order to get my life on track. But when I came out and I started to just talk to people and help them with situations they were facing in their life, I realized what I'd learned. I realized that the whole time I was in treatment, I was absorbing everything. I was in group coaching sessions and group therapy sessions, and I was listening to everyone's denials and breakthroughs and stories and challenges, and watching people be vulnerable and watching people relapse and all sorts of things during that experience. And I was soaking it all up, and I was using it to form a real solid understanding of how people work. And when I came out, I started to share that with others, and I was creating, transformations in people's lives. Of course, they had the part to play, but I was facilitating that and supporting them through that just based on my experiences. It was only at that point which I went away and did my coaching qualifications. But it was just like, wow, I had a lot to offer. All these things that had happened to me this whole time, were happening for me. I was working out what works and how to get unstuck and how to solve these problems. And just like you said earlier, people that have been through these traumatic backgrounds, they end up having more determination and drive. And I just realized that all these negative things that were happening to me ended up being the best things that ever happened to me, and now giving me a roadmap of how to help other people. And when I realized that, I've just doubled down on my strengths and made the most of it.
That's amazing. And what really motivates you to jump out of bed every morning, Lewis?
Yeah, so for me, it's impact. I really want to make a big difference. Like, just for complete transparency, I know exactly where it comes from.
You already
And
are.
it's not. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I know exactly where it comes from. When I was younger, like I said, I wanted that attention, and I never really felt like my dad loved me. And what I was doing was I was looking for significance. And you mentioned Tony Robbins there, and he talks about the 6 human needs, and one of them being this need for significance. And I know it's there, and I've done a lot of work on it, but I still, feel that desire for significance. And I know that if I'm going to search for significance, I don't have to look for it in the ways that I used to do, and I can look for it in ways that are going to make me be remembered for making a huge change. So I'm not here for the money. I love the money, of course, but it's not actually the driver for me. The driver for me is making an impact, for being known as somebody who made a real change in the world. And, when you've got that sort of purpose and that drive, and that, it's so big, it's so much bigger than you, that you just need to work on it every single day, it makes it easy to jump out of bed in the morning.
And when you follow your passions and purpose, the money comes naturally, and you're not just running after the money. Now, Lewis, what sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your clients and customers?
Definitely. Now, what sets us apart is a few things. One, we have a complete end-to-end solution. Coaching is relatively in its infancy in comparison to a lot of other sort of trends and things that are available. So, even if you Google the word coach, it still comes up as either a bus or some sort of sports athlete trainer. But coaching is still in its infancy, and there's a lot of companies that have different disjointed services. Maybe they have an online directory, maybe they have a coaching qualification, maybe another company has a grow your business, maybe another company has a membership site, maybe another company has the community, and they're all very disjointed. However, we have everything under one roof. So we have everything from that end-to-end solution, from someone who wants to watch free content and a free web class and learn about what coaching is, into a membership site full of an abundance of information on things like social media, lifestyle, mindset, coaching. Then we have the accreditation. Then we have build your online business. Then we have things like NLP. And not just that, but it's completely and entirely online. So everything we deliver is online. Even the training, it's interactive workshops via Zoom sessions. So we actually still practice the tools and techniques and do demonstrations and give feedback, but it's all via online classrooms. And it means we can reach more people and make a bigger impact quickly. So not only do we deliver it online, but we only teach tools and techniques and strategies to grow your business that can be used online. So it means that not only can it be taken online, but then it can then be used to grow this online business. So that's the way the world's moving, and people are actively seeking for opportunities. There are a number of people that want to get out their jobs, that want to do something a bit more stimulating and fulfilling. And the only way to really be able to do that is to take advantage of one of these opportunities, and they're not always geographically available to a lot of people. Maybe they have to travel too far, and they're working or they have children, and it's difficult for them to be able to fit those training sessions in. So yeah, the difference with us, two things. One is we have an end-to-end solution where we provide absolutely everything you can think about in the world of coaching. But two, everything is delivered online and it's able to be used online.
And that brings me nicely onto my next question. Can you share, why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
Well, that's a perfect question, because, the rise of social media and the internet means that people are having more opportunities of freedom. There's remote workers where you can work online rather than being in an office. There's different opportunities that are emerging. There's also more problems emerging. The social media and the comparison of other people, and there's a lot of need for two things: one, online opportunity, and B, coaches. People want help to solve their solutions, to move closer towards their desired outcomes, to break down those limiting beliefs, to build confidence, to take advantage of more opportunities, to seek more from themselves. And the coaching industry is rising massively. It's a $2 billion industry. It's growing 12% each year. And this is going to allow people to not just make a difference in the world and make the world a better place and solve some of these problems that a lot of people are experiencing that make them feel stuck, but it's also going to give them an online opportunity at the same time. And as social media becomes larger and people are exposed to different ways of living, and they can see outside of their comfort zone and outside their local environment and realize that people are like myself, living in Bali, living the whole laptop lifestyle. They get to see it, they get to experience it, they get to see that it's real and be able to take advantage of it. And our business is literally that solution that can give it to them.
And having a coach makes the journey so much easier. You can't do it alone sometimes. Having a coach, you can learn by all their past mistakes, you get all their skills, knowledge, and it does make the process in getting to your end destination a lot smoother, having the skills and the wisdom from people who've walked that path before. So Lewis, can you share more detail on the kinds of service and products you offer?
Absolutely. So I did give it a little bit of an overview earlier, and we've got a number, but I'll tell you the core ones. So we do a membership, and that's a small reoccurring monthly membership fee of £47, and that allows you to get an archive of information that teaches you about online business and coaching and lifestyle and everything you could possibly think of to do two things. One, become a coach, and two, build an online business with the intention of building an online coaching business. But it is just sort of cherry pick type content, no particular structure and no particular qualifications. It's designed for people that want to immerse themselves and understand what's going on. We also offer like a free coaching session with that, access to our online coaching directory, access to our private Facebook community. I mean, that Facebook community in itself is probably the most valuable thing we have. It's a positive environment. And I've seen Facebook groups, but nothing like this. We have over 10 people who have got the Coaching Masters tattoo on them. And they actually got the tattoo before we did. We've now got them, me and Leah, my business partner.
Amazing.
Purely because they were getting it. Because our logo represents freedom. And when people have such a powerful transformation in their life and they're finally around some people that understand what they're doing and what they're all about, and they've found their tribe, they want to, assume that identity and they want to hold on to it. So yeah, they get access to the private community. And then obviously to be an amazing coach, you have to have a qualification. It's an unregulated industry, so it's not a necessity, but we always recommend that if you're going to be going out there changing people's lives, you want to have all the tools and techniques and frameworks and skills to be able to do that. So we do a 12-week online qualification and accreditation. So we are internationally accredited by the International Authority for Professional Coaches and Mentors. And from doing our program, you actually are qualified to the equivalent of a level 4, and you can say you're a qualified and accredited coach. After that, we do a 14-week online business program, and we teach everything, and I mean everything about setting up an automated online business. So everything from your marketing positioning to social media content, to branding, to website development, to ebook creation, to sales page writing, to sales, to launch strategies. I mean, that's not necessarily needed. When people get started, they don't necessarily feel like they need to create that automated business. But if you're looking to create this online infrastructure with all the bells and whistles and all the email sequences and the ebook downloads and all that sort of stuff, we provide that again in that end-to-end solution. So within 6 months, you could join our membership, learn about everything in coaching, join the community, see what it's all about, see the results of other people, then jump in with the accreditation, become the best coach you could possibly be, with all sorts of things like limiting beliefs and reframing and pushing through fear and NLP and neurological levels of change. Become, not just transform your own life because you're applying it yourself, but also being able to have all those tools to help other people. And then you move on to the online business program to learn absolutely everything there is about setting up an online automated business. So within 6 months, they can be doing that. And if they put themselves out there and actually go out and put valuable content out into the world and build solid relationships with people and attract some people that they want to work with and get clients, they can replace their full-time income and they can then choose to work from anywhere in the world. And we have people all over Asia, all over the world, that are literally lifting their laptop, helping people, and earning an income. And they do that just through moving through those processes.
Now, I would imagine you have all sorts of client success stories. What is one that really stands out? Just one. What is one that really stands out in your mind?
A big one for me is I'm currently working with and very good friends with Johnny Mitchell, who was on Love Island, which is a TV show in the UK, on a reality TV show a couple of years ago. And I had this sort of vision that I wanted to help influencers turn into impactors, because I saw they had this mass following, a lot of leverage, this audience, and the ability to communicate messages with people, yet it just wasn't being utilized. It was, people promoting teeth whitening and clothing, but not actually using it for good and maximizing on that huge opportunity that's available to them. So I approached Johnny, started working with him, taught him so many tools and techniques that he could help his audience with. He started to engage with his audience. His engagement on his social media went from 2,000 or 3,000 likes per post up to 20,000 likes per post. He started getting loads of people messaging him saying they wanted to work with him. They really helped him through the content he was sharing. And then he realized the viable business opportunity he had available to him. So he became a qualified coach under the Coaching Masters. And then I helped him with a very simple launch strategy that drove people that wanted to work with him through to an application form and then get them on calls. And he made £170,000 on one launch.
That's a big success.
Yeah. So not only is he doing good in the world, not only has he started to really connect with his audience, not only has his engagement gone up, but he has also been able to massively profit from it. And that was just one launch on one Instagram story, one time. So the reality is he's going to be earning multiple seven figures this year and making a big impact in the world. So that's what a very simple flip can do sometimes, with a bit of knowledge and actually adding genuine value. Yeah, he was able to turn that influence into impact.
Well, I do love a success story, and that was a great one, Lewis. How do clients typically hear about you, and are there certain life moments that usually lead them to seeking you out?
It's usually just a bit of a gut feeling, like they'll either resonate with my story, maybe they'll hear me speak, and maybe they'll come to an event I'm at, or just read my content, and just something will resonate with them, and they'll just reach out. They can come from all different parts in their life, not necessarily things that I coach on, but just looking for somebody to talk to or explain that they've got similar things going on for them. I've had people that have, fresh out of prison, or people with gambling problems, and people that wanted to grow their business, and, people that want to have a little bit more fulfillment and freedom. It can literally vary from all different types of people. I don't really do much coaching anymore because I'm very focused on being the CEO of the Coaching Masters. But yeah, I talk to people daily. I just spoke to a lady today, just before this call, and she really inspired me. She's currently, her mum committed suicide when she was younger. She's currently got cancer, but she's only 22 or 23 years old, and she's just like full of energy, so positive. And I just love connecting with people like that, because it's just, from putting your own story out there and your own journey out there, you attract so many people that are very interesting, that are very inspiring. And yeah, in all honesty, it's all walks of life and all different situations, not always negative, some positive, some just to do with the lifestyle. But yeah, I'm very active on all social media channels and different things. So I connect with people on a daily basis.
I love what you're doing in the world, Lewis. Is there anything we did not cover that you would like to share?
No, I mean, I just love coming on, shows like this. So thank you very much for the opportunity and just sharing what I'm passionate about. It gives me so much energy. Like, I'm just pacing around the room right now, kind of out of breath, just talking about things that, I just love to talk about. So it's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I mean, if anyone can I give some maybe details to connect with me if anyone wants to?
That was my next question. How can everyone connect with you? How can people follow you?
Absolutely. So my name is Lewis Raymond Taylor. So I'm the only one in the world, luckily. So if you put me into any social media platform or any sort of Google search, I'm the only one that pops up. So that's ideal. So if you put Lewis Raymond Taylor in on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or lewisraymondtaylor.com or anything like that, I'll pop up. So you can always catch me there. Instagram, I reply to very frequently. So you can get me at Lewis Raymond Taylor. But the business, if you're interested in becoming a coach and coaching your way to freedom, then you can find all the information about that on thecoachingmasters.com. So that's thecoachingmasters.com. We've also got a free web class on the website that's 40 minutes long, and it basically explains everything about becoming an online coach and the strategy to be able to get clients. So if there's people listening that like the idea of helping people and earning an income online and want to get started, then there's the opportunity to watch that web class and learn about it. And then at the end, there's the opportunity to come and join our community. And maybe one of you guys listening will be the next one to get the Coaching Masters tattoo.
That's a good one, Lewis. Lewis, thank you so much for being a guest on the Brilliance Business Show.
Been a pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me. I've really enjoyed it.
You are so welcome. You have been listening to the Brilliance Business Show. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler, Conversations with Leading Experts in Business.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.